Good evening, everyone. This is Cindy Luby, and it's time for our Paper Pumpkin Showcase. Today, I'm going to be showing you some alternatives to our Paper Pumpkin kit that we have every month. This one is a special one that's been designed by our co-founder, Shelly, and she does an awesome job when she gets to design her own paper pumpkin. So I can't wait to show you. So let's get this started. I'm going to go ahead and open up our box. By the way, isn't this just a pretty box? Just love it. And we've got so many goodies in this box. You're going to be amazed. First, we're going to start with this great stamp set, and there are some wonderful sentiments. I don't want someone to show you so I can kind of show you what they look like here. We have always hope because you never know what tomorrow will bring. Just a note of hope. There's a butterfly. Where there is faith, miracles happen. I mean, so many great sentiments. There's a couple of butterflies, some splatter, a pretty flower. This is just packed full of stamps. So that's our first thing. And this is our co-founder, Shelly, showing you a pretty box that she designed. We also get this great ribbon. Oh, my word. Can't believe this. This is great ribbon to work with. I could tie a bow with no problem, even with my nails. All right, and we get a spot with Blackberry Bliss, and be sure and keep those because these really do come in handy, especially when you're on the road or you need to stamp something small. These are great for that. So these really do come in handy. So this is always packaged this way every month. I just love it. It makes it like a little gift. So we'll go ahead and fold that up. Always need some tissue paper around the house, right? And look at this. We're going to go ahead and get this open. I'm going to show you all the goodies in that. This is how all of our kits come, and they come all wrapped, and then all of our pieces are in here. So let's get this open. And I'm going to show you all of the things. And this is how Elaine and I, who's my partner, she's over at Paper Crafts by Elaine. She and I get together every month and we share the kit and we make cards together. So she does part of it and I do part of it. So actually you get two designers for the video. So you get a lot of different looks, which is great. But you can see how Shelly designed this. She's using the box as the gift box itself. She put this big butterfly on there and tied the ribbon. This also gives you all the instructions so you can make your own design. Follow, if you don't have your own ideas, then you can follow this, and it really is helpful. It has really no verbiage or anything. It's all visual, and it just shows you how to put every card together. So great. And it also gives you a list of all of the items in the box, and it gives you a list of all the colors that are used in that too. So if you're looking for other card bases that maybe you want to add to this or whatever, it gives you a list of all those items for you so you don't have to figure it out. So look at that. Isn't that a gorgeous butterfly? Oh, right up my alley. Couldn't design something even better from me, I tell you. Shelly, you did a good job. You come up with all sorts of card bases. This is one of them. You get this color, which is Pool Party. And then you get another one in here, which this is Polished Pink, I believe, with the splatter on it. So that's really pretty. You get 3 of those. And then you get these 3 cards, which are designed to go with this piece, which I'll be showing you when I show you some of the cards that we put together. So lots of different ways you can do that for all those card bases. They absolutely outdid themselves when it comes to these envelopes. Look at these envelopes with the butterfly on it and all these different pretty colors. So you get 3 of that envelope. You get another 3 of this one. Look at those pretty colors. I just love how they shadowed everything. Very pretty, like a stencil. And then look at this one. The back side also has color on it too. So they just didn't do the front. Whew, I tell you. And then you get 3 of these, which are these that you just pull these out and you can decorate those. This is the label that you can do. So you can actually wrap your box if you want and then design it. Or you could actually use this for something else. You get lots of words. So you've got here, and we always put it in three different languages: English, German, and French. So there you got that. You have this. This was designed to go on the box itself, but I'm going to show you a different way of which I used when we look at our cards. You've got a label here. You've got the little designs that you can use. More butterflies. Oh boy, I tell you, I am in heaven. But I'm going to show you that you can use this also besides just punching out the butterflies. You've got some other pieces here that you can use. So you have this one. You have let's see, these that you can use. And I know we've got a couple examples that we use that. Here's some white that you can use. And then, oh, look at these. Aren't these pretty, these flags? And you get 3 sheets of those, and there's 4 on each page. So, I mean, and when I'm not done, we're still looking at stuff. You get these words, and these work out really well. You've got tomorrow and hope that you can use for putting on, and that goes with that stamp that I'm telling you about. And I'm going to show you how that can be used also in a card. And then that she actually gave you some blanks that are circles and banners that you can actually stamp your words on that. So you could stamp where there is on one of these. You could put hope in the circle. You've got some dots, blue dots, as well as a whole pack of dimensionals here, a whole sheet of those. And you've got Elaine's having fun with Bella tonight. Bella's talking back to her. As well as we have bling. I love my bling. You know that. So you get that also. And believe it or not, when we made a lot of these cards, didn't use all the bling. Even between Elaine and I both, we didn't use all the bling. So you'll have definitely some pieces left over that you can use for other cards. So all of these items in this box, I cannot believe this one. And I have heard through the grapevine that you can still order this kit. If you go to my site here, if you go and use I have it on here, my link to Paper Pumpkin, I've heard that you can go ahead and they are still available, and we think it'll be available till the end of this month. So get yours quickly because they're going to go fast if they're still available. I tell you, I bought 2 of them because I loved them so much. All right, so let's get this show on the road to show all of our pretty designs here. This is the first one, and we used Pool Party on this one as a card base, and just used the piece that I showed you that was on a card itself. I cut that, we cut it apart, and then put this on top of it. And then we used the Love from Friends, Forever Friends, I believe it's called, stamp set. And of course, we had to put some bling on there. And just a note of hope, and that was out of the stamp itself. That was on there, and we used a butterfly and used one of the flowers. So that's our first one. Isn't that pretty? Just love it. Now look at this one. This one was made from the envelope, and cut this out, and we used a gorgeous grape on the back side of this, and used the Where There Is Faith, Miracle Happens. Put a little bling on there. Didn't even have to stamp anything, except there is one other stamp here, I believe. We kind of stuck one in. And then on the inside, just put the stamp in there and left it blank. You could always put another sentiment in there too, but sometimes it's just nice to have this as a note card that you can send to someone. So there's number 2. Ooh, got so many things to show you. Look at this one. Remember when I told you about those butterflies and how you could use this? Well, we took all the butterflies out of here, and we just put one of each color in there with some bling. Remember that whole sentiment that I said you could use on the top of your box? We cut it apart. So we used the hope out of one of the things you could punch out. And this says, because you never know what tomorrow will bring. So I think that's great. Put a little bit of a tie around there, and I think that makes a very cute front. And great way to use something so you're not throwing your other pieces away. Got to get creative, right? Put that love in there and then put a little of those butterflies and stamped them in 3 different colors, which matches up with the colors in the box. All right, here's another. Oh, look at this one. Tied it, and we did, I think Lane did this one, and I think she used the punch called, I'm going to think of it in just a minute, Delightful Tag Topper, I believe.
Yep.
Just grabbed it over here on the side. And then she used the envelope on there and cut that out. I told you, you can't just use the envelopes for that. You got to use it for some of your decorations because they're so pretty. Use the ribbon that was provided and tied that. I think that is just gorgeous. And look at the inside. She colored all this with her blends. She did Daffodil Delight, and then it looks like she did a little rich raspberry. And then she did a little stenciling with one of the butterflies, and she stenciled on top of it. So what you can do is you can put your butterfly down that's already provided for you. You can stencil over that with the blends, which are brushes, and then that's what gives you that look. Isn't that just gorgeous? And this is Blackberry Bliss underneath for our card base. Just love those colors. It goes so well together. Here's another one of those that we use the very pretty design on. Now, this one doesn't have the other card underneath it. We used a Pool Party under, actually we used one of the other card bases that you get with that. Put that on there and cut it apart. I remember how I told you could tie that ribbon really easy. It's a little wide, so we folded it over, tied the bow, and then wrapped it around the edges. Isn't that a great idea? And again, put that as a side folding card. This is the other piece of another card base, and put that in sides, and it's light enough where you can still write on it. And then we stamped with another butterfly. Just love that. You can just do whatever you want with these. You just can use your imagination. That's what's so much fun about this. Here's another pretty one. And this was, again, using the envelope and cut that apart. Look at those pretty colors. Looks like Elaine did a little splatter stamping on here, which is really pretty. And it looks like she used Bumblebee. And then she stamped some pretty butterflies around here, used a little of that bling, and did a little bit of, this is with the polished pink underneath it. And look at that. Look at all those pretty butterflies on the side. She used all these different colors. Isn't that pretty? Love it. And you know, I'm going to confess, I had to steal the big butterfly. I wouldn't let Elaine have it. I thought, oh my God, that would be so pretty putting that on a card. I used one of the envelopes and I cut that apart, as you can see by the background. I found a happy birthday in one of my stamp sets, put a little bling on there, and isn't that just gorgeous? Absolutely loved it. All I did was just and then I just cut the edges off that didn't fit. I didn't want to center it. I wanted it to look like the butterfly was taking off. Put Love You Friend on the inside, and I used the flower, and I used one of the punch outs for the butterfly in the inside. Just love that. It's one of my favorite cards. I wish we'd had more of those big ones, but I stole it. I admitted it. I grabbed it before she had a chance.
Didn't even let me open the box.
No, didn't even let her see it. All right, well, look at this one. Isn't this one creative? Elaine did all of the stamping with the flowers, and then she used the ribbon on there. She used the flag. Isn't that great? And then remember those plain circles we had? She just put the sentiment there, just a note of hope, and did a little shading around that with polished pink. Just love that. Very creative. Put on the inside, put another one, a little flower in there. And boom, you've got another great card. See, so many different ways you can do that. I don't even know what number we're up to. Look at all these pretty cards here. Woof, just pile them on one top of the other. All right. And then I took my version of using the stamps, and I did a little bit. This is one of the things that I do a lot in my Tuesdays when I do my quick and easy cards. I like to make my own background. So I Did the same thing with this. I used the flower. I used the 2 butterflies. I used the splatter. I used the little butterfly. Hey, made my own background. And that is on the card base that they actually gave us. So here's the card, and you can tell it's in white inside. So this is one of the cards that they did supply for us. I used the flag that they gave us. This little piece was meant to go on, I think, the outside of the box, but I decided to use it as an embellishment. And I put hope on the outside. I thought that was really cute. Very easy way. And then I just used a little can't say it tonight. Blackberry Bliss. I think I need some more water. And then I pop dotted that up, and I just mimicked and cut the shadow out from the hope over here for when I did that flag. So that way you don't have to cut it all by yourself. Just put it on top of there and then just cut as an outline. On the inside, I did always hope, because you never know what tomorrow will bring. Of course, I had to put a butterfly on the inside. Makes a great card, though. Look at this one. Elaine did it herself. She just decided to get those brushes out and start doing a little coloring. So she did, look at this. Look how clever this is. Remember this card? You get this on the inside of your kit. And she took these colors and did just the opposite on the card itself. So she did it opposite. See how this pool party is here, and then it's up here, and then a little bit of yellow. She kind of mixed it up, and then put this as, what was the color on the bottom of this?
Let me see. Oh, Poppy Parade.
Poppy Parade. So there we go. Isn't that pretty with all those colors on there? And then she did a little bit of our, this is some of our ribbon out of our catalog. She did that same tag again, just put a little layer on there, put some bling on there, and a butterfly, just a note of hope. I think it's so clever. Again, she did a little bit of that stenciling on the inside of this too, with the butterfly. Woo, love it. All right, I think we're almost down to our last card already. Oh my, the party's almost over. Hi, Sandy. All right. Well, I showed, this is one of the ones that I kind of did as it's kind of a little bit of a wow card, but it's meant to go this way. And then you fold it up. Look at that. So I used the envelope, and when there was a crease in here, there's a technique that you can do with your bone folder to kind of press out that fold. I put where there is hope, there is faith. I did the outside, and then I put that on the piece on there, and I did lots of bling on there. And then this way you've got what we call an easel card. So isn't that fun? That one's easy to make too, but it is definitely a wow card when people want. I would love to have that on my desk. I can look at all those pretty butterflies. Well, there we go. I'll go through this one more quick time to show you each one of these. But these are our cards, and we made, I think, 12, and we weren't finished. We have plenty of other supplies left in that box where we could have kept going. Between the envelopes and the other pieces that they gave us, we probably could have made, 6 or 7 more cards at least. So it is amazing when you do a little bit outside of the directions of how many other cards you can make using some of your own card stock, but using some of theirs too, using their envelopes. I tell you, your imagination can go wild. So let's go and review a couple of these really quick. We had these 2 cards. We had these. Oh, aren't those pretty? Boy, they're pretty side by side. Just love them. We had these 2. Isn't that pretty? I love all that paint splatter that she did on that one card. It almost looks like that's the way the paper is supposed to be. I love that. Look at these 2 cards. Woo! And these 2 were one with this kind of ribbon and one taking the ribbon and doing it as a little topper on the tag. Isn't that pretty? And then we've got these 2 where we did the stint. We took all the pieces out, did the stencil. Just love these. All my favorite. Oh, just love all these colors. And then this one was the first one I showed you, which has the love on it. There we go. So that is all for today. We have our paper pumpkin, as to remind you, that's once a month. It'll be on the 26th at Cindy's Cards and More. And then I always showcase you other alternatives. And Elaine and I get together before we do this, so you have lots and lots of different ideas that you can use. I'll have my quick and easy cards this coming Tuesday, and that I will be probably posting in the next day or two what our next paper pumpkin will be. So I would always take a look at that, and I would recommend to subscribe, because not only is this a kit where you could do the directions, but with our guide, with all the different alternatives we're showing you, we can show you really how to maximize that kit. So it really gives you a lot of value that you're doing. So stay tuned. I will see you next Tuesday, and I'll see you back here next month for another paper pumpkin alternative. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Bye now.
Good job.